bags. Wakanda forever. You have to forgive me. I don't look at the camera too often. I'm driving. Preparing to release it. Turning our deficits, weaknesses, struggles, illusions, defeats, lessons, trespasses, hurts,
Watch out, vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
pains, struggles, obstacles, blockages, mountains, karma, dark night of the soul, tower moments, 10 of swords, grief, hurt, remorse, doubt. Just to name a few. Lack, boundaries, low vibration, mistakes, remorse, guilt. The gift of life is to take all of that and then the many, many more and turning that into our power, our strength. Turning it into our testimony. Is where it's at. Everything we go through
Watch out, vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
is there for a reason. Yes, it's there for a personal reason. It's there for us personally so we can learn, evolve, grow, mature, strengthen. It's there to help build endurance, empowerment, motivation, courage, passion. It's there to help us evolve, transform. It's a catalyst, a cocoon. If you like cooking, it's the oven that you make the brownies in. Or even the blender that you make your smoothies, or the mixer that you use to beat all the ingredients in. And after it goes through that fire, after you add that change element, those of us who like to cook, after you add that change element of that heat, or added that liquid, you mix it all together, you go through the whole, directions and the processes, put it in the oven, take it out when it's supposed to. Now, sometimes life doesn't work that way. Sometimes we come out the oven a little too soon. We learn from that. Sometimes we stay in the oven a little bit too long. We learn from that. But every time you make those brownies and you do slip up or whatever the case may be, skip a step, or you remember, So then the next time you remember that step that you skipped. Now you might miss the next one. You might, put the sugar in too long. Maybe you didn't sift everything before you threw the ingredients in there. But every time you make those brownies, it gets better and better and better until you got it. Then you move on to some cookies. You move on to pound cakes. Just because when we do cook and we do come out with something, we get good at it. We want to do
Watch out, object on road ahead.
Of something like that. Like, yes, I can do that. Well, shoot, if I can do that, let me try this. Like, yeah, it took me 15 times, 15 different batches to get there, but you know what? I got it. And you feel good. You feel proud of yourself. Maybe you wasn't, at first you didn't even want to make the brownies. You got a kid, it was like, hey, you got to bring brownies to school. Your kid came home like, hey, yo, I got to bring brownies. Like, I don't even bake, I'm good at just breakfast food. I can make toast and cereal. But you're like, all right, you know what? I'm not about to let my kid down. Whatever it is, that motivation, whether it is you're not about to let your dream go, you're not about to let whatever it is get in the way or stop you from doing something that, whether it's for you or for somebody else, help, progress, heal, whatever the case may be. In this case, your kid got to take some brownies. You don't want your kid to be the only person going to school with no brownies. Especially if that happened to you. It wasn't a good experience. And, it's more impactful when it is something personal that it is we've been through, and we don't want the next person to go through it. So that gives us, that little bit of added motivation. Like, well, yeah, I've been through that, and I don't want my kid to feel the way that I felt when that happened.
Watch out, object on road ahead.
So, yeah, part of my directions needle. So you go ahead, like, all right, I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get these brownies done. And then come to find out you actually like it. Come to find out you did better than what you thought. Yeah, it took you several times. Yeah, you might have got frustrated. You had a week to do these brownies. Like, man, I'm about to go to the store. Get up, but everybody, homemade brownies. They said we supposed to, homemade them. All right, well, I can't take a shortcut. Like last time you went to the store, people didn't like the brownies, so now, they over here thinking that, kids thinking that every time this kid brings something in, it's gonna be nasty. Nobody want to eat your kids' brownies. So you're like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna want to give up and be tired and just be like, man, I need to sit down, I need to take a break. Even that all in itself is a lesson, is an empowerment, is something that's going to be for your higher good. You may not see it right then and there. You didn't know that making brownies is going to be a life lesson. Or making those brownies and getting better and better at it told you that, even if it's something that I think that I may not be good at, or even something that somebody else may have said, like, oh man, you can't cook, man. Last time you fried some chicken, and rule of thumb is you can't fry chicken, you can't cook. You got asked to bring your lasagna. You're like, you know what? I'm not about to get embarrassed. I'm about to make this dang lasagna. You ain't know making lasagna was gonna be a life lesson. And I say all of this because everything that we go through in life, all the struggles, the doubts, the fears, the obstacles, internally and externally, we ourselves can be our hardest critic. And because we are our hardest critic, a lot of times we create blockages for ourselves. And it's not intentionally, because of course we don't want to create blockages for ourselves. Especially when it's when it is something, things only become personal because there's an emotional attachment to it. Think about everything that we have that means something to us. We have an emotional connection, an emotional bond, an emotional attachment to it. If we didn't have that, it wouldn't have caused such a powerful reaction. It wouldn't have caused such a disturbing or uncomfortable sense of being. It wouldn't have hurt as bad. It wouldn't have been as impactful as it was. Think about things that you don't have a connection with. Like, let's say skiing. You don't like skiing. The fact that all the ski resorts are closed is not going to affect you in any type of way. Let's say you like roller coasters. Now, all the amusement parks are closed. That's what you do. You're like, wait a minute. It's going to affect you. Like, man, what am I supposed to do for the summertime? You know, that's my thing. That's what I do. I go to the amusement parks. I ride the roller coasters. You know what? I got to come up with something new. Sometimes in life that happens too, where we're used to doing the same thing over and over again because we really like it. But sometimes, stepping out that comfort zone, like, dang, all the amusement parks are closed. What am I going to do? I gotta come up with something. I'm not just going to sit in the house because, now we all got free will. We choose to sit in the house. We choose, Taking all that into account, everything we go through in life, from the smallest of things to the most impactful of things, are all there to serve us of a higher good. Everything that has caused some form of discomfort, all the way from, literally feeling like you're dying just to like, there's a slight uncomfortability, a little nervousness. Everything that we go through, whether we overcome it or not, is a testimony. It's a testimony. Some stuff is not for us to overcome, and that was testimony within that. Like, you know what? I wasn't supposed to go down that route, or I wasn't supposed to do that. I kept trying to do it, but I kept running into this problem until I realized, you know what? That's not for me, and that's what it was trying to tell me. But my ego wouldn't let me away from it, saying that no, that's not for me.
In 4.3 miles, exit to I-215 north.
Everything becomes a testimony. Everything. Our testimonies then become change agents and inspirations to others. Some of the most impactful stories, videos, movies, anything that we watch. The reason why movies, videos, the sources of entertainment create their emotional response that they do, besides how it is that they go about it, there's a lot of strategic in that. They put the music there on purpose at certain particular music and little small stuff, but it's created to impact you, to affect you in some type of way. It's not going to be whatever it is if it doesn't. You know, we've all watched movies that we felt like, you know, it just didn't do it for me. Or listen to music that was like, that's not my cup of tea, you know. But it's there to inspire. It's there to create some sort of response, some sort of change that is positive. You know, now stuff can, you know, we all have our own reality. We all take things and the environment in different ways, because we are all individuals. We all process things differently. We all form a sense of understanding about it differently based off our own experiences through life or the things that we just know. And the most impactful things, you know, are the things that we experience. Because we can learn something. We've all been there where we learn something, and then later on in life, like, man, like I got it then, but yo, like, no, like I got it now. Like, or you had something like, I never really quite knew what they meant by that. I knew it was something valuable in there, you know, so I held on to it until whatever it was, and you were able to personally apply it in your life. Like, but man, no, after I went through this, I got it. That's why my mama used to always say this. That's why my granny always used to say that, especially when we become parents. That's like the quickest way to easily find some stuff out like that. Like, you know, because what's the one thing our parents always say? You won't find out when you're a parent. You're like, man, no, because I'm never going to do anything the way that you do it. Our parents out there, y'all, how many times we done ate them words, man? And we catch ourselves saying the same things to our kids. Or even if they're young enough, we're not going to say it, but we're thinking in our head, like, man, once you get older, I'm going to tell you about this. But life is all about growth, transformation, and not just our lives, but it starts with us. It starts with us. It starts within. Because what's within is what's without. Law of attraction. Clearing karma. As above, so below. Give and I'll give back. Energetic exchange. And it shows you are truly at peace within yourself. Regardless if everything around you is chaotic, but you're like, you know what, I'm going to find peace in this moment of the storm. Peace, be still. It even shows your external environment is looking like, yo, you got all this going on, but you just chilling. How are you just chilling? Because if that was me, I would, like, how many times we done came up
In half a mile, exit right to I-215 north.
Dude, if that was going on with me, I don't know if I could handle it as calm and cool as
Police reported ahead.
Even seeing somebody and watching, observing somebody, we can learn through that. Like, man, that's some power right there. And then, not just that, just because of the fact that
Exit right to I-215 north.
we recognize that strength. Because we recognize that we have that within as well. Because we recognize it. You can't recognize something that you don't know. You can't recognize something that you don't know.
Continue straight for 30 minutes to State Route 60 West, I-215.
You may feel like you don't have it. You may feel like because of the things that you went through. No, it's not that. It was, you know, you wasn't aware that you did have it. But let's say next time a situation come up and then your friend and what that they went through or how they responded to it pops up in your head. You're like, you know what? I'm going to handle it the way that they handle it. And you're going to sit back and just be like, man, I do have that. Like they was telling me that I got that with them. Man, I really, really do. And through our lessons, through our testimony, we move differently. We walk, we talk differently. Even if we don't even notice it at the time. So a lot of times through a change, we don't notice it. You're not going to notice that you're growing. You're not going to notice that you're evolving. A butterfly in its cocoon is not knowing that it's growing wings. A bird that's being pushed out this nest doesn't know that it's going to be able to fly. Sometimes we need that push. Sometimes we transition over into things effortlessly. But everything in life, that's why everything in life is an experience. Because it is a testimony. Our experiences become our testimony so that we can walk and speak and help and enrich and motivate and promote and encourage and help transform and evolve others. It's the gift of paying it forward. That's what was given to us. And through our struggles, we became victorious some way, some shape, some form. Doesn't mean you actually were able to get to where you felt like you were supposed to get to. Yeah, just because we may feel like we're supposed to get somewhere doesn't mean that's actually where we're supposed to be going. But we were supposed to go down that path so then we could realize that we needed to turn around, that we needed to take a left, take a right, that we needed to jump, that we needed to crawl. Shoot, sometimes that we need to be knocked down a couple pegs. But then through that, it's like, man, but yo, if I didn't go through that and I would have kept pursuing that, I never would have realized I could have been doing this. I never would be where I am right here, right now. And it's also finding peace and being grateful for where we are right here, right now. It doesn't matter what you have and what you don't have. You're not here to keep up with the Joneses. Now, if what the Joneses have is motivating you to do better with your life, that's great. You know, that's a high vibrational way of keeping up with the Joneses. Like, man, they seem like they got it all. Yeah, we may not know what they struggle and know what it is they had to go through to get it all. But you like, man, you know what? Whatever, I'm down. I'm about to go. I want to walk my path so that I can feel like.
Watch out, construction on road ahead.
I want exactly what it is that they have, and I want exactly their life is. No, I want to feel as if I have it all the way that I see them. That's how I want to feel in my life. That's how I want to feel about the things that I'm doing. And if that's a motivation for you, shoot. Which a lot of times it is, you know. Everybody likes nice stuff. You know, everybody wants to drive a nice car. You know, it don't have to be it doesn't have to be a Lamborghini. So your nice car could be a Honda. Your nice car could be a bike because you're walking. You're just like, you know what? Give me 2 wheels. Shoot, give me a unicycle. I'll take one and I'll figure out how to ride that bad boy. At least I ain't walking. I'm getting to where I gotta go quicker. And it's being happy with what it is that we have. Because God's not going to give us more. God is not going to give us the things that we want. And we're being ungrateful for the stuff that we do have when He gave us that stuff that we do have right here, right now. It's like going back to kids. whether you have a kid, a niece, a nephew, or babysit. If that child is being ungrateful and not treating the stuff that you have already provided for them with respect and being grateful for what it is that they have, how likely are you to buy that child more? If you bought your child, yeah, I know it's 2019, you bought your child a Sega, but they asking for a PlayStation 4. But they not even treating the Sega right. I'm like, no. You know? Even, a lot of teenagers like, oh, well, I wanted this type of car. But you go and you get them an A to B car. And all my friends, they got. And what about with your friends before? You didn't have a car. You have a car. But because it's not the car that you wanted, I could take it back. And sometimes God, karma, whatever you want to call it, sometimes that happens. To be like, man, I was complaining about it, but I would sure love to have that right about now. Well, I know next time, just be a little more grateful for it. That was a teaching lesson within itself. You learn how to be grateful, humble yourself, treat the things that you do have. It may not be the best, it may not be the nicest. It may not be what it is that you want. It might not be what it is that you feel like you need. Even our struggles, we may feel like we don't need. How often do we say, man, I don't need this stress right now? We say that all the time. I don't need this happening right now, Lord. Why are you doing this? Higher power, universe, source, Gaia, God, spirit, karma, felt as if we needed it at that time. We don't feel like we need it. Yeah, because it's opposition. Anything that's forcing us to change, we don't like force, because we might not have changed on our own, but because the only thing that's constant in life is change. Change is going to occur whether we resist it or not. It's easier to just go with it. Now, sometimes change happens and we don't really realize it, and we look around like, oh, so we change it. Oh, so we doing all this. Oh, okay. Well, I need to catch up. Sometimes we realize it when it's going on. Like, okay, I see stuff moving. Okay, I'm not really sure what I gotta do. I know I gotta do something. I'm not sure what it is. It'll come to me in the right time and place. Sometimes we see change happen, we freak out. Like, oh my God, I have no idea what to do. Okay, well, I gotta do this, and we got, and each one of those things, not saying there's a right or wrong way. No, we're all going to respond to things differently, regardless of how much we have grown in the past. We can learn to balance our emotions and everything, but it could be that one thing that we wasn't prepared for. That caused us to freak out a little bit. But we have that experience and that lessons behind it. Like, okay, I realize I'm freaking out right now. Because that's where self-realization and knowledge comes in, and the lessons that we did learn that we can pull from. Like, okay, I need to recalibrate. I need to go meditate. I need to go take a nap. I'm getting a little grumpy. Let me go get something to eat. When I'm hungry, I get an attitude. Sorry, y'all. Mom's call. I gotta answer the phone for mama. Plus, it's not a video anyway. It taught us how to move differently. Now we can resist and have a tower moment again, repeat a cycle again. Because everything that we go through, we're going to be tested more and more. We're going to have similar situations. Even after we pass the test, it's going to be a similar situation come in a different way, or making sure that we're learning that lesson and learning it in a different aspect, in a new way, quicker, faster, whatever the case it is, that God, source, spirit, or the change agent or the universe is allowing us to learn from it so that we can evolve, so that we can become better. Because all the way from a plant, a rock, all the way up to animals and to us, evolution occurs in every generation. Each generation is an improvement, so to speak, from the last. We're here to improve our life, make things better, make things easier. Like how we talking right now on YouTube and be able to reach the world. I remember being in the 3rd grade. I remember at my school when I was in the 3rd grade, internet had just hit schools. Technology, I was in the 90s era where the whole technology thing was really starting to pop off. I remember when cell phones didn't even have ringtones. You just had the green backlight. Texting did not exist. The whole time I've always wondered, why do we have letters on the telephone number, on the dial pad or the telephone, and we never use the letters? Even the house phones with the house lines, the rotary dial lines, there's letters on there. I'm like, I'm not understanding. And then I started seeing commercials and stuff like 1-800-ABC. Don't find it to work for me. You're like, oh, that's cool. But why you just gonna put the numbers down there? Okay, I don't know. Whatever the case may be. But then that evolved, and what we had ringtones. Didn't have no words to them. You had the ringtones, but you had to kind of guess, like, yo, this sounds just, okay, this is the closest one that I found just like, and you go around your friends like, yo, can you guess what song this is? That was fun all in itself. We were grateful, just like, yo, we never had this. Ringback tones. Wait, so people don't have to hear this music, the song that I'm like really, really feeling right now, only on my voicemail, so they can listen to it while they're calling me and the phone is ringing? I ain't got to hear ring. I can just sit here and jam to somebody's music. We have 3D virtual video games. This was the stuff I remember watching Zoog Disney in high school, like watching Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. Like, dude, it would be so cool to have a cell phone that you could just touch. It would be so cool to be able to feel like you're in a video game, like you're actually there. That was in, what other movie was that in? The First Kid with Sinbad. Like, yo, they got virtual video games? We back here thinking like, man, that's gonna be like year 2950. You know the movie Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. We're stepping into the 21st century and we already got it. Holograms. We saw that stuff on iRobot thinking like, man, now there's actually robots, there's actually holograms. And this is just coming from the technological field, but also you have to think about the type of evolution that it took within the human genetics itself to even progress to that level in the first place. They didn't think about stuff like that then. For one, it wasn't even a need. They were trying to improve the life that they had right then and there. And that's what everybody wants to do. Every last single human being, every single living creature in this planet wants to live a better life. Regardless of what it is or what it is you gotta go through or how to get it. So having all the struggles, everything that we've been through and gone through, and turn that into a testimony, that is a form of evolution within itself. But evolution of energies, evolution of past, evolution of trauma, hurt, pain, defeat, deceit, abuse, mentalities, generational curses, karma. It doesn't matter, because one thing we all have in common for us as human beings, whether you believe in God or you don't, and you just believe in something bigger than you out there, is that we all have a soul, and whether you classify it as a soul or a basic life force. And I say that because think about something like this. A toy, the batteries can die. We can change out the batteries and it comes alive again. Why is it that when a human is no longer breathing and functioning, we can't exchange that organ once they're pronounced dead and replace it with one that does work and they resume? It's something there that we don't have, that is impossible for us to create, to reduplicate. Which proves that there's something bigger than us, whether it's God or basic life force. There are some things that we cannot duplicate. There are some things that just can't. There are some things that are not meant for us to dabble in. And that's going back to the last video that I put out about communication, like the Tower of Babylon. We started dabbling in stuff that we ain't had no business dabbling. Guy came and was like, oh, so now y'all done came together, y'all done figured out, so now you're trying to build. You are literally trying to build a stairway to heaven. Nah. Get that right on up out of here. Knock the whole Tower of Babylon down. Now we all speak in different languages, so we all can't come together to be able to. And then now English is a very prominent language. And now English then became so complicated that those of us who have came up speaking it, sometimes we miscommunicate amongst each other. It's not even sometimes, it's more frequently now than ever, but even watching the news and everything else, it's changing. The collective as a whole is changing. It's energy, it's transference of energy. People are moving away of being so attached to ego and pride and greed. Because through our testimonies, through all of that, and it's because it's not just for self-empowerment. That's why I say it's not just a personal level. Yes, it is, because it has to start with you first. But then the higher aspect to it is to then go out. Now, what are you going to do with it? Keep it all to yourself, because sharing is caring. And what we put out, we get back. You notice that you learn a whole bunch of stuff, but nobody wants to share with you what it is that they're doing to get successful, because you're not sharing what it is that you did to get successful. And success is different. We're moving away from seeing success as being a billionaire. It could just be literally a person walking around peaceful. Having peace and still just living their life. How many homeless people have there been that are now billionaires because they were still living their life and living their best life regardless of what it is that they have, and still doing what it is that they love? And somebody came across, walking along them and discovered them, and now look where they are. Because they were grateful for just being alive. Because through everything that they've been through, they realized, I'm alive. I could not be here. That would be the worst. Yeah, I may go through this pain. Yeah, this pain may feel like death. It may feel like hell. But I'm alive, y'all. It really is the small things in life. And the very smallest is just waking up every day like, I'm alive. Because tomorrow isn't promised to no one. It's a song by Nickelback. Live every day like your last. Even, like, think about the song, I am going back to Nickelback, Rockstar. In that song, they talking about people losing their true identity, their authentic self, who it is that they are, selling their soul, selling their life force, just to be able to blend in and be popular with everybody else so they can get the material gains that what everybody else got. Like, I even cut my hair and changed my name. We all just want to be big rock stars. Drive the souped up cars. They all skinny because they just don't eat it. Not eating is not healthy. We gotta eat. You know? Like what, 7 days without water, like 30 days with no food? We're energetic beings. We need to put some clear in our body. You know, he's pointing that out, like, to have this image, people are starving themselves. They're causing physical harm to themselves, to who it is that they are. So they can live
Watch
this
out,
life.
vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
My bad, because I had that on.
Power off.
So they can live this life in order to have what it is that they see that they have, but in all truth, shortening the life, the quality of life at the same time, just to reach this goal, just to have this gain, just to have. Shortening our quality, shortening our life, and hindering the quality of life. That's why some people believe in putting animals down, because like, well, this animal has this, and you know, and hey, you know, there's different stories. You know, play God, and I'm just using this as pure example. Well, a lot of people put animals down because they feel like it's cruel to allow this animal to not have a cure and to struggle and hurt and be able to not effectively communicate this. You know, a dog can't tell us when we give a dog a schedule, you know, pain pill when it needs its pain pill. But knowing that this animal is suffering and not doing anything about it or can't do anything about it because we don't have that communication. So the humane thing that's, you know, known and a norm is to put the animal down. Otherwise, it doesn't have a quality of life. You get animal cruelty services called on you because you're not giving, you know, your pet a basic quality of life, and you're just keeping it alive. You take it to the vet, and the veterinarian is like, you know, it would be best to really put them down because they're suffering and they have no way of effectively communicating it to us. Especially dogs. Like, it's man's best friend for a reason. They embody emotions, and that dog knows. It's like, man, but my person needs me, so I'm still gonna be here. That dog be in pain and whole, still trying to nuzzle up under you when you having a bad day. Animals can sense things. Some more than others. But everything we go through then becomes a testimony. And we are a part of the world. We are connected for a reason, because then those testimonies are then there to help inspire others. Think about if nobody shared their struggles and their overcomings of those struggles. What inspiration will we have in the world? Those are the things that motivate us the most. All these quotes came from struggle. All these life lessons and poems and beautiful work of art and masterpieces all came from some form of struggle, some form of hurt and pain that an individual was able to transform and transmute and create a work of art, something beautiful. Sometimes we're placed in what it is that we're placed in to see if we can transform it into something beautiful. Are we really alchemists? We are all made in His image. He has the power to create. Therefore, we have the power to create. What are we going to do with that power to create? Have we harnessed that ability to take nothing and turn it into something? Sometimes God places those things in our lives to see if we're going to do just that. If we have learned that, hey, yes, you can. And not being dependent on something outside of ourselves, another person, whatever it is, a house, a home, material gains, having our desires met. Can we do it off the basics of being a life force, a soul, within the physical 3D? We are all teachers. We are all prophets and prophetesses. Because we are all made in His image. Now, how it comes out, that's our uniqueness. That's our niche. That's our sales pitch. That's that slight difference that in advertising makes you want to purchase from one brand versus another. We are walking brands. We are walking advertisements for who we are. And some of the most powerful, most impactful stories. It's easy if somebody's always been good at basketball and they make it to the NBA. People, ain't no shade on people like, yeah, man, I knew that they were going to do that. But the ones that are most aspiring are those that are the underdogs, the ones that people don't expect. The hidden treasures, the diamonds in the rough. That's why you see videos of people who have went to combat and whatever and then end up having an amputation, and now they run the marathons and won like a bazillion 10 medals. People who have, whatever disability that it is, but using and finding a way to be able to do what people who don't have the disability can do, and they can do it 10 times better. Those are the stories that really impact us and motivate us and be like, well, dang, you know what? If that person can do it, dang it, I can too. Or somebody sharing like, yo, I've been through this. I know you're feeling and thinking this because I've been there. But I'm telling you now, if I can make it, so can you. If I could overcome it, so can you. Why? Because this is what I felt. This is how because we are emotional beings. We connect on an emotional level. So to really connect with somebody on an emotional level, that's a true connection. Whether that person is meant to stay in your life or not, that's a true connection. And you form a connection, you form a bond with that. It impacts you. You think about it. It inspires you, it motivates you. It can even degrade you and break you down. We all play a role. We've all played that role. You know, sometimes, and you know, I'm not saying going around is permission to go and be a jerk and be mean to people. No, but you know, sometimes when we are able to protect our boundaries, you know, even when we're unaware of it and we're operating out of lower energy because protection of boundaries, that's like seems to be like the most common trigger of just in a general sense to be able to relate it to everybody. You know, we feel like we stand up and put our guard up, like, hold on, wait a minute, and take out the sword real quick. Go ahead and get the Ace of Swords right on up real quick. And then, but yeah, we learn a lesson within that. Like, okay, you know what? I should have went about this way. But so does the other person or the other parties or whatever the case may be. It happened for a reason, and it's not to have a 5 of Cups energy and crying over spilled cups or anything like that. Because no, it didn't already happen. Ain't nothing we can do about it. It's the past. But just like in the movie Lion King, we can either learn from it or we can run from it. You think they named Rafiki, and had his persona the way that he was just out of mere coincidences? He's a baboon. For anybody that watched the Discovery Channel or been to the zoo, go ahead and approach a baboon and think they're gonna act like that. They are one of the most powerful and most dangerous next to gorillas. They up there too with them. They up there. Animals out here. They are the ones that are so temperamental. So the fact that they did a complete contradictory role in it and made him so super peaceful. Because people can do that. We can do that. We can go from being and then transforming our lives if we embrace it and being completely different. Those are the most transformative stories. People who went, like, that's why people who have been to jail or been to prison can come out and speak to people and be like, and go and talk to actual gang members and get them to disassociate themselves. Because they done been through that life, so they can reach to them on a more deeper personal level to be able to really reach for them. Somebody that never been in the gang, they go, like, man, what you talking about, man? You grew up in the suburbs. You ain't never had to go through my struggle. You ain't never had to worry about how the lights, you know, eating out of garbage cans or any of that. How you gonna tell me, you know, when your life has always been peachy and good? But let that person be like, oh, well, no, I did this and this happened to me and this and this. Let me tell you my story. You know, that's gonna affect that person like, dang, you do know what I'm going through. And you doing what now? Like, even in the movie Fruitful Station, dude had the opportunity to sell what it is that he was going to sell. He's just like, you know what? Nah, he really wanted to change his life and take a step back because apparently that's what got him into jail, you know, when he did, or prison, wherever it is, incarcerated. But then the moment he decided to not go down that same road and change his life, and yeah, you know, he went to the store, he was in his emotions, he was upset, he was like, man, dude, but I didn't, he was like, okay, you know what? I said, I'm trying to change my life, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna change my life, I'm not gonna go back down the same road. And that was a fight. Because obviously, he knew how to make quick money, he was good at it. Otherwise, people wouldn't have been hitting him up the way that they was hitting him up. He's like, no, I got to change. I made a promise to myself, my mom, my girl, my kid. I got to make this change. And then when he really just started to just enjoy life for what it was that he had, and like, you know, I'm just going to be in a moment. Gotta find a way. It was real nice to do. Like, look, sir, let my girl go to the bathroom, you know. Knocked on the door, ended up like, hey, we have one more. The store owner was like, all right, man, all right. It's like, thank you. You know, the other man's wife was pregnant. Man, she's pregnant, man. You know, she's pregnant. Like, I understand, you know, for me and my girl, like, you know, I get it, but you know, she's pregnant. She pregnant. The store owner was like, all right, you know, put it in the little heartstrings a little bit. He did humane thing, like, all right, yeah, you know, she is pregnant. Let's go, yeah, you go to the bathroom. And he started talking to the guy and everything and all that stuff, and dude gave him a card. That was his connection to get a job. because he chose to embrace a higher embracing, a different way of being, instead of getting upset. Because he could have got mad, but man, we're just trying to go to the bathroom, and, like he did in the store. But he learned from that lesson, like, okay, I'm trying to change myself. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't go down the same road I wasn't before. I said I'm doing a different road. I'm doing it. And he put everything into that, and then got offered a job. It's like, you know what? Call me. But I'm not going to keep, because this is about an hour long, I'm not going to keep talking y'all here off. But the moral of this session is we are walking testimonies to help raise the awareness, to help heal hurts and pains, not just within ourselves, but within others. Because we are all connected in what we call the circle of life as human beings with souls or life force, whatever you want to name it and label it. It doesn't matter whether you're a starseed, indigo child, prophet, preacher, oracle, tarot reader, magician, artist, chef, inspirational, spokesperson, poet, server, delivery driver, law enforcement, medical care, none of that. You're just working in the line of service that is in alignment with you. We all doing the same thing. Peace.